When men and women meet and they like each other, I think life would be a lot easier if there were no shielded hearts, if men, for example, were open and honest. Hey, I like you, I want to get to know you better. Let's exchange numbers, and why not go out on a date and see where it goes? And there are men who do that, but in reality, because of a huge fear of rejection and total humiliation and then obviously the end of the world that follows, a lot of men use a different approach. They are not direct. They hide their emotions and their intentions and their feelings. Some men are so under the radar and hidden that even a professional spy wouldn't know what to make of their actions and reactions. For example, they may make up an excuse to talk to you. They might try to be your friend first, hiding their romantic intentions and plans. They might use an excuse to ask for your phone number and not say that it's because they want to go out on a date with you, which is obviously not clear when they start texting you about things that have nothing to do with ever going out on a romantic date. However, if you know where to look, they will give you lots of signs that they are falling head over heels for you. So in this video we are going to start with the first time you meet each other, and then the signs you will see during conversations and so on. And we will also look at the things you can do to speed up the whole process. So let's talk about it. And first of all, in my opinion, relationships are a lot easier when the man likes you. And I know that's super obvious, but what I mean is that if a man has really fallen in love with you, he'll be on his best behavior. He will make an effort, he will treat you well, he will have respect for you, and so on. So in my opinion, the goal is to only date someone who really likes you, who doesn't need to be convinced in any way. So here's how you can tell if a guy really likes you, even if he's trying to hide it for whatever reason. And there are many possible reasons. For example, maybe you work together, maybe he thinks you're way out of his league, maybe his boyfriend was interested in you first and he's just trying to be respectful to his boyfriend, or of course he's probably afraid of rejection and the thought of you rejecting him is his worst nightmare right now because then he'd have to let go of the dream of ever being with you. And yes, some men think that way. Here's a great sign. Men are visual creatures, as you may know, and that means that if they like you, they cannot stop looking at you. If you're at a social gathering or networking event and you walk past a guy who likes you, he's going to follow you. You cannot walk past him without him knowing. If you're near him, he'll look at you and he can't help it. When you look at him, a player might smile at you immediately, but a lot of other guys won't because they feel trapped. They look away immediately. And this can happen several times during the event. Because he cannot help it. You are already having an effect on him. Then, after the awkward staring phase, he'll look for an excuse to talk to you. For example, you might find yourself standing next to someone he already knows, and when you do, he'll join your group faster than a squirrel chasing a nut. Now, during a conversation, especially in person, but also via text, he'll start to prove himself to you. So the more he likes you or the more he thinks you are out of his league, the more he will prove himself. One of the biggest signs that a man likes you before you have a relationship is when he starts talking about himself. And I know, if it's about himself, why would he be interested in you? Well, there are a number of reasons why men show off. When they do it to other men, they're often trying to show some dominance or gain some respect. Hey, look at what I have achieved. Look at my job, look at my car, look at my muscles. Now you respect me, right? No. Have I told you about my? When he does this to a woman, he not only wants her respect, he wants her attention and her love. And he's not always going to show off. He's actually trying to paint a picture of who he is and what he's all about. He's selling himself to you, especially if you haven't had a first date yet. He knows that dating apps are full of attractive, muscular, shirtless Vikings to choose from. Or men who sometimes lean against a Lamborghini hire car. So he may think he needs to make a difference by showing his personality and who he is as a person through words and stories. And please don't underestimate this. Any man who doesn't look like an attractive Viking or who isn't famous, if he's really interested in you, won't be flexing the huge muscles he doesn't have. He will use words and stories to show you why you should be interested in him. There's a small group of very attractive men who get the attention of a lot of women because of how they look, and all they have to do is walk into a room or upload some shirtless pictures to a dating app. But then there's the huge group of men who think they need to prove why they're worth your attention and your time and your love and your affection and so on, and they try to do that by telling you stories about themselves. Oh, you studied marketing. So did I. I used to make the TV commercials for a big car brand. Important TV commercials. You have a dog? A Cocker Spaniel? Yes, a Cocker Spaniel. My sister has one too. A Cocker Spaniel. Yeah, I'm really good with dogs. I just hate cats. Do you have a cat? I love cats. Totally not allergic to them or anything. You play the piano. Another coincidence. I love listening to piano music. I used to go to piano concerts when I was little. I'm still little. I wish I was taller, like a Viking or something, but did I tell you what I do for a living? And that, like the looking part before, they cannot help. When men are talking to a woman they find very attractive, they start to make it about them. You say something and his mind is already working out how it relates to him and how he can use it to make himself look important. So here's the first way to help him fall even harder for you, if that's ever necessary. Make him feel important. Not by lying or acting, of course, only if you're really impressed by something he's explaining, but let him know you're impressed. You can also ask him some questions, because it really helps if you show interest in him. Again, if he's really attracted to you, he'll often try to hide it. Most men over, let's say, 25 know that even if they really like a woman, it's generally a bad idea to put her on a pedestal and start worshipping her after only 5 minutes of conversation or even a first date. Most men, not all. I recently had a woman complain about men she went out with who were all over her after the first date. She obviously lost interest because it was too much too soon. And a lot of men have learned that lesson, but sometimes the pendulum swings the other way and these men start hiding how much they like you. Because they like you so much and they don't want you to lose interest. So if you want him to come out of hiding faster, give him little signs that you are interested in him. Small ones. When he explains something, ask a few questions about it. As men, some of the ways we know someone might be interested in us is when they start asking us personal questions, when they want to know more about us, and especially when they're impressed by something we're explaining. It makes us feel good. As I always say, if a man likes you, he wants to be your hero. If you tell a guy who's not interested in you that you're facing a challenge or that you're not good at something he's good at or could help you with, he'll probably ignore it. He won't do anything with it. If he likes you, he'll always be looking for excuses to spend more time with you. He wants to make sure he can see you again. And of course, as you become important to him, he'll want to make you happy. So he will say, "Oh, I can help you with that. If this ever happens again, just give me a call. What's your number?" You see? Under the radar tactic, now he has your number. Of course, the more a man likes you, the more time he wants to spend with you, and he will find ways to do that. And if he's afraid to show his romantic interest in you for the reasons I mentioned earlier, he'll look for other ways to get to know you. And that's another sign, by the way. Time is obviously very precious to all of us. A man can spend his time working on his career, working on his Viking muscles, playing Call of Duty or some other game, watching sports, or watching TV or movies. And all these things will give him emotions and dopamine and probably great feelings. Or he can spend his time with the woman he's interested in, because she'll give him even better feelings. It's very simple. And by the way, what I'm about to say is only for the first stages of the relationship, so it won't last forever and that's perfectly normal, but in the beginning, and especially before the relationship has started, he will drop almost everything to spend time with you, especially before the first kiss when he's still unsure of your feelings for him. And then, when he is spending time with you, he will not look at the time, there are few places he would rather be than with you. And he will let you know it. I love spending time with you. I like talking to you. I hope to see you again. Another good sign is that when he's talking to you, he'll lean in a bit. He wants to be as close to you as possible without making it uncomfortable. He'll also focus on you. Not many things will distract him. He doesn't look around. He'll look into your eyes, or sometimes at your lips and mouth, which means either that you still have a piece of food stuck between your teeth, or that he's thinking about kissing you. And then he'll touch you. But again, under the radar. Little touches. On your upper arm, for example. Finally, he may ask you what your type is. When a man asks you what your type is, he's obviously hoping that you'll say, well, you, and not, well, that guy over there, you know, the one who looks like an attractive Viking. Ouch. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for staying until the end. I know I keep saying that, but it's because I really love it when you do, and I hope to see you in another video.